me a lot of people have done that. But let me ask you this. Did anybody pick up anything on the building your list that maybe helped you get this thing rolling a little faster? Does anybody have anything there that they could share at all?
Frank, I've got one. I sent you a message, that I think that's so important to have a big list. And one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is that they're carrying a huge list in their phone if they go to their contacts. You might have thousands of names in there that people don't even realize. You just go and access those. And I just tell people, I said, just start creating a list of names and don't even think about calling them yet. Just start building that list of names, maybe to 200, like you said. But a lot of people just don't realize they already have a list really already started in their mobile phone in under contacts.
Well, even more so when you go through occupations, you go through names, you start triggering people that you didn't even remember before. Did anybody pick up names as they were going through the building your list sheet? Remember, this is a sharing opportunity, folks.
Uh,
Why don't I do this? Let me try and kick it off this way. I'm going to share some of the contacts I made this week and how they came about, and let you realize that sometimes people actually contact us and you don't even realize it. But one of the things, this is one day, okay? I had 3 contacts, and one of them was I have a storage bin where I keep stuff, and they called me and said my insurance, they needed to update it. I had to bring it in. Well, when I brought it in, the girl was there, and I started talking to her and found out that she also owned a coffee shop. So I made the contact with her, as I always do, got her email, and sent her that the video. Another one was there was a bank officer at a bank that I deal with, and he's the head guy there. And about a month or 2 back, I poked my head in his office and said, Corey, I have something that I want to share with you at some point here in the near future. And I said, I'll be back to you. He said, all right. So I walked in that same day, and he was standing there at the counter. And I said, Corey, can we have a few minutes? And I went in and highlighted to him what was going on. And he had all this stuff up on his wall because he played golf. He had a Masters flag up there and a couple other flags. So we just got to talking. And by the time we ended, I told him what was going on. It was like an Amazon, only you can make commissions, and it had great tax advantages if you had a home-based business. He said, yeah, sure. So I got his email and sent it to him. And then I was at BJ's, and this is one of the instances where sometimes they contact you. And I was walking down the aisle, and you know how they have these guys with the clipboards walking around, they'll start asking you questions. He came up to me and said, are there any of these things here with home improvements that you would be interested in? And I said, no, not really. But I said, if you had the guts to come up to me and ask me that question, I already know you'd be great at something I'm doing right now. And if you keep your eyes open, I'd like to share it with you. I got his email. So that was 3 emails in one afternoon. Another day, every Wednesday, I think I told you guys before, I have lunch or dinner with my grandson. And we were sitting there talking, and Trudy, my wife, was having a problem with her phone. And you know how these kids are at 18 years old or 9 years old. I mean, they just take the phone and they start and they fix the whole thing. Well, as we were going through this, there was a couple 2 tables down. There was an empty table in between us. So 2 tables down, and they started laughing, and they started the conversation. They started asking, what are you going through? And my wife just said, what did you hear? And they started a conversation, and we went back and forth. And before you knew it, not me, women are the best contactors on the face of the earth. I've already told people that. And I always share a story like, if we were if we were at a restaurant together with another couple, when the guys have to go to the men's room, they get up by themselves and go and come back. The women get up in pairs and they'll go to the ladies' room and they'll come back 15 minutes later. They know everybody that was in the ladies' room. They know how many kids they have. They know what kind of jobs they have. It's unbelievable. So women are the best contactors in the world. So I just let Trudy continue this conversation and we covered everything. How many grandkids do you have? Where are they at? What are they doing? Okay, all this went on. And as it ended, they started to walk back past her. Now it was my job. Okay. You know, she set them up. I'm supposed to be now the hammer on this thing. And as they're walking by, I said, "What do you do for a living?" And the guy said, "Well, I'm a, a corporate security right now." And the wife said, "Yeah, and I work for Dell." I said, "You guys are getting killed on W-2 income. I'll guarantee you that." And they started laughing. Yeah, 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 yeah. And then I said, I have something. I really would like to share it with you guys. I told them it was about something like, Amazon. Only you get commissions, but you can run it from your home and save some money on those taxes, guys. Give me your email. Every one of these people, I had their email instantly. So it's not hard. Sometimes they're contacting us and you just have to be open to it. Just remember, our list is our natural resource. Okay. We're mining for gold, but what are we really mining for? We're mining for our dreams and goals for us and our family. That's what we're mining for. So the point that I'm making and why I shared those four is conversations are going on all day long. All you have to do is be aware of what's going on. I've told people many times, my ears are open. When I hear somebody say something or do something, I immediately try and figure out, is this somebody I would want to have in my business? And that's why I compliment people a lot, whether it's the service that they're giving or anything. So just get used to doing what I said before. Just learn how to say hi to people. You don't have to contact them right now. Just get used to these conversations that go on once you say hi to somebody. And like I said, the women are the best in the world. So you guys who are married, you have a natural resource right there, believe me. But they're just a couple stories that I had this week. So what I'd like to do, has anybody picked up anything that they can share that they realized once they started building the list? Or is there any contacts or anything? Maybe you signed up somebody. Maybe they were a premier member. Maybe they, got involved, as an affiliate. But the whole point of this meeting every Saturday is for people to share their little stories, and maybe you'll pick up one nugget. When I got involved in networking, many years ago, I would drive hours and hours to a function. I would spend money. And what I would do is, if I left there with one nugget that would help me have my dreams and goals come true, it was worth it. So coming to a meeting like this, hopefully people will share what they're doing, because you didn't make the contact the way I did. You didn't make the conversation. You didn't do anything necessarily the way I did it. You did it your way. And your way may be something that picks up for somebody to say, you know what? That fits me. That fits my personality. So please, if there's anything that you picked up at all, please share it with people on a day like today. So I'll open it up. And Paul, if you have anybody there who is willing to, come out and share, we'd love to hear from them.
Yeah, anybody want to unmute or type in the chat, we can call on you. And also any questions.
Yeah,
please
questions on the on how the plan works. Or remember, the key is, guys, we're trying to get 10 people as fast as possible. That way you max out your comp plan, which is what I want people to do. And realize that when you put them closer together, they fill in faster for you. I want you to make the money fast. I want your goals to happen fast, okay? So that's why you can't make mistakes. It doesn't matter. You can't run out of people. It's impossible. So just be open to what's being said. And getting back to the point I made where my ears are always open, if I'm at a meeting, let's say a party, and I hear somebody on the other side of the room complaining about their job, I somehow try and figure out how to get over near them and eventually talk to them. Okay. So my antennas are always up and listening. So anybody have anything?
Frank, this is
Yeah.
Bob Champion. How are you doing today? Thank you.
Thank you, Bob Champion, for having the guts to get on here, buddy.
There you go. Well, I just had a question, and I really don't know for sure, but I can tell that it's been asked to me a couple of times, and I've been out of town and out of commission for about 10 days. So I want to get this answer because some people say, well, we know that we that are affiliates and have been in the premier affiliates, and we're doing this, really strong. We're going at it. If somebody does that, now they've got a spot over there. But what if one of these people that hasn't done anything and they're on the Seaforth side of it, but they want to become a member to the other one and they don't want to be in Seaforth anymore because they've got a subscription there? How does that play? How do you deal with that tactfully and decently? And
Well, let me be tactful.
yeah, there you go.
It's a crazy thing to do,
Oh, I agree.
but if they drop their position before we launch, they lose their present timestamp, and then they can just go over and register.
Okay.
Now,
So they
remember,
wait till then if they're going to drop their position.
at least.
Yeah.
But by then, maybe they'll get smart.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll take enough acai or perfect food that the brain will start working right. Okay.
Okay.
Because when you look at what's going to happen, when you see right now it says 65 cents to $2,
Mm-hmm.
that means you have to be a premier member to get that additional money.
Ah.
That's where it's going to come from. Okay. So when he launches that pro, they're not going to give it up.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're walking away from a lot of money on your affiliate side.
Yeah.
They're making it so you're going to eventually almost have to have a premier member side, or you're going to give up a lot of money over on the affiliate side.
Yeah. I agree. Well, I didn't know how much it was going to lose, but I knew it was not the good thing to do. But some people, they're thinking as well, I hadn't done anything with this so far, and I've just got a subscription. And if I go to the other, I don't have that much monthly, but they're missing the point. They're not looking at the treasure.
No, it's going to get better and better because as Mark starts putting it together more, the videos are going to get 1,000% better, and people will start seeing it, and then they'll start hearing what's going on. And so I'm not worried about what they're going to do when we launch, because they're
Yeah.
not going to leave the premier side.
Good.
Okay. They're just
Okay.
not going to do it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. That gave me the information I needed.
No,
Appreciate it.
thank you, buddy. Thanks for coming on.
Frank, Brian again. Yesterday, I went and got a haircut, and I was talking to the
Looks
stylist.
like you got them all cut, buddy.
I know I got my summer cut here. So anyway, but I was talking to stylist and just asking her questions about her family, and she mentioned that her son was on spring break in the area there from college. And I asked what his major was, and she said he's a business major, and specifically entrepreneurial business. I said, I should get in contact with him. I've got some information I think he'd be interested in. And she said, well, I could get you in touch with him. And she said, what's it about? And I said, I tell you what, I don't try to explain it anymore, but I'm working with some people that have put together a program that I think entrepreneurs would be interested in. I've got a short video I can send. And she said, could you send it to me? I said, sure. So she gave me her phone, and I did send it. I gave it to her right there at the shop when we were done. And she got back in touch with me, and I forgot to ask her one thing, what type of phone she has. And I don't know if a lot of people know this, but if you have an iPhone, you go to send a video to somebody that has an Android, they can't receive it. I don't know if people knew that. So I could send it in an email, but I can send a text message and video to someone from my iPhone to another iPhone, but an Android, it won't go through. Does everybody know that, or is there anybody who didn't know that?
No, well, the main thing is you didn't get sucked into answering questions.
That's it. And I
Okay.
sent her. So the good part is that she responded to say, Brian, I tried to open the video and I could not open it. And then I responded back. I said, I bet you have an Android. She said, yes. I said, okay, I'll send it to you in an email. But that was it showed me that she went to the video that night. That message came back to me last night about 9 p.m. So when she got off of work, she tried to look at it, which was good.
Very good. You opened your mouth and started the whole process.
Yeah. And didn't say a lot.
Yeah,
Just video, let the tool do the work.
exactly.
Yeah.
Let the tool do the work. Yeah, it's a good video, and thank God it's going to get better and better over time as well.
Looks like you have some other questions there too, Paul.
Yeah, Willa Reynolds. I have two that will leave the premiere. You want to unmute, Willa?
Yeah, sure. Good morning, Paul. Good morning, Bob.
Hello.
Yeah, their major complaint is they just want the blaze. They work in the oil field and they do a lot of driving and they just need more blaze but they don't use the Voyager at all. And they just don't want to continue.
Right.
I've stopped them from absolutely dropping out. And hopefully when this new program comes over, they can just slide over.
Yeah, sure. And yeah, you shared the new video with them, the landing page,
Mm-hmm.
marketplace. Yeah, because soon, obviously to keep our C4 position active and qualified, it's got to be on that certain subscription amount. And with Blaze, it does have the Voyager attached to it, but soon we'll be able to pick our subscription, basically customize it to where they could initially, choose multiple Blaze packs and without the Voyager here in time.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Yeah. That way it's still going over the $59 or the $60 to keep his position qualified. At least he could do it with, 3 packs of Blaze without the Voyager attached.
Oh, that would be awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. And even for the meantime, maybe I'll ask them to add just, a couple, just 3 things of Blaze just to, for a subscription with no Voyager that they could choose from.
That would be absolutely wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll put that request in for you.
That'd be an easy one for you.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll tell the tech team. Oh man. But yeah, Frank, is there anything on the website you want me to screen share?
Well, only if there's questions on it, but that very last one now where here, let me show you something I did.
Can you get it?
I went ahead, I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but I took 8 of the slides. Let me hold this up here. And I put together a little flip chart for when I can use this. And I already used it once this week with somebody because I wanted to sit down. I even used it as a teaching thing, but I have 8, you can't see this, but I have 8 different slides that I put together in a little flip chart that I carry with me in the car. In case there's a situation where I can just go in and start showing them these 8 slides, it shows you how it actually fills in. And the last one, there's another one that shows the thing completely filled in, Paul, the one after that.
Oh, does it? Here, and I just want to make it clear, if you go to r3gteam.com and go under tools and downloads, you can download that, the PDF presentation that Frank had, and you can see all the slides. We'll go to the slide that you're talking about, Frank.
Yeah, I mean, I've already gone through it. I didn't pick up all these ones where it jumps 2, 4, 8. I just picked out key 8 that gave me the basic information that I could quickly go through and even use it for teaching for somebody that's already in.
Definitely. Definitely.
Other
Yeah.
than that, I'm not as high tech as some of you guys where you do Zoom calls and all, but if I pull somebody up, I sent the video to them, I'll pull the video up with them having the video up and just tell them what time slot to go to. And then I can talk them through it, on my phone and the computer. Some of you guys are much higher tech. You'll go ahead and do a Zoom call, but they still have to see it. So that's just my rudimentary way of doing it.
Definitely. Definitely.
While you're trying to pull that up, let me tell you a story of what we're trying to do, guys. We're trying to go bear hunting. And I like to tell stories because I've heard them over the years, which help me focus on certain things. But I'm going to tell you a story here about Joe and his buddies who went hunting every year. And they all met and they drove hours and they went up in the mountains, and then they had a 3-hour walk to get to their cabin. And they all got there. They were all exhausted except Joe. Joe said, "I'm going hunting." And the rest of them said, "Well, we'll do that tomorrow. We're tired. We're going to go in here and rest." Well, a half hour later, they look out the window and they see Joe running up the hill yelling, open the door," with a bear chasing behind him. And almost when the bear got him, he runs across the porch, the door opens, he runs through the door, the bear follows him through the door. He turns around and tells everybody, "Skin this one, I'm going to go get another one." And he closes the door and runs out. Okay. We're in the bear hunting business. All right. The tools and the team are the people who will help skin the bear for you. All you got to do is bring them to the cabin. All right. So that's just a little story I heard years ago about how you go out and just do your job. Go get the bear.
Hey, what slide was it, Frank, that you're
It was
looking?
the last one where it shows all your 10 pods that are filled in completely.
All your 10 pods. Okay. 1 second.
It'll be one of the very last income slides. And I see Brian on there, so we need Brian. I know he'll share.
Definitely will. It's not this one, is it?
No, there's one more. Maybe you don't
Can you guys
have.
hear me all right?
Hey, Brian, how you doing, buddy?
I'm great, man. How are you guys?
We're great.
I'll share whatever you want me to share. If anybody has any questions, I'll answer them in the way I handle objections, whatever you guys want me to do.
Maybe you don't have it. It was the newest slide. It showed all your 10 pods filled in.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I need to update this then.
Yeah.
I'll go into the video and update the PDF and look for it.
Hey, Paul, Frank, does anybody have any questions for me, or you guys want me to go through anything?
I want you to go through all you want, buddy. Some of these people are shy. You have to remember that.
Yeah, but every shy person brings you to a stallion. Don't be shy. Just get out there and share. I mean, too many. One of the things, and the only thing that I really do is DIGA, DIGA, which is daily income generating activities. I never stop sharing the concept, whether it's new people coming in to look, which I registered a brand new person yesterday, one the day before. I helped a couple existing ones get reactivated yesterday. So, I mean, you just got to be doing the numbers and plugging people into the information and keeping it simple. But your daily income generating activities is what's going to not only increase
more rings, the more
the business, but it's going to increase your organization and it's going to increase the income that you're generating from it. I mean, and every single person that you reignite or re-register or create and help to get active is another pod in one marketplace. I mean, I hear some of you guys sharing, and it's like you're begging people to do this. You don't need to beg anybody to do anything. We have something that's simple, something that's easy. We have amazing, incredible products. You got to be a product of the product, number one. You got to use the products yourself because you run to your story. If you're not creating your story or start using somebody else's story, you're going to hear Wednesday a story from one of my directs who's now over 27 pounds off with PFPB And when you hear what his story and now how he's bringing in influential people to the program, he had to run and create a story. How many of you on here right now can you honestly say you created your own story? If you haven't created your story, create somebody else's story. Just like you've been watching me on Instagram, I'm doing a 90-day transformation. Each day, I'm day 1, day 2, day 3, whether I'm walking, but I'm also incorporating my PFPB, my ASIF. And that's a way you can create your story, because people will get curious. Curiosity will create questions and, what are they doing? It opens the door for you to share. And then you go back to your existing people. I mean, that's the simplest thing. Listen, you got a chance to be time stamped with me in the new pods globally. You can either stay where you're at and be inactive, or you can get reactivated. You're now in the global pod. Everybody that you choose to re-engage through the 31st that's inactive, they're going to be in the pods. But all the new people that you want to help benefit from, help create additional income, help learn from, this is where you can help them also get into the global pod. Look at all those cars. Global pod, and be positioned, because this thing, once it starts, the momentum's already shifted. Many of you have already started seeing the momentum shift in your businesses. Same as same as Paul, same as Brig, same as Frank. The momentum shift has started. It's going to start to get to the point where it's going to grow exponentially. We have people on here, Bob Shantz, who's got new members coming in from Mexico, the Mexican, and also Puerto Rico. They're creating momentum. You got to create the momentum and create your story. If you're not creating your story, find someone else's story and use it. When I came into this industry, I used Charlie Cobb's story. I used Brig Hart's story because they won a bus. They won a Lamborghini. I didn't create my own story until later, but I still utilize someone else's story with the daily income generating activity. Daily income generating activity. Invite people to take a look. Let them go through the video as a presentation, or a one-on-one, or a group, or a live call, and then put them on a third-party call, so that way you don't have to be the expert no more. As long as you can do those 3 things: invitation, presentation, third-party validation. The system is designed to be simplistic. Simplicity is what's going to create the duplicacy. And if you do that, all of you, every single one of you on this call right now, could go out and enlist 10 new people this week, 10 next week. That's 20 people in your pods. That could set you up for life. Some of you are going to be way beyond that. Some of you are going to fall short of that. But you know what? If you're not doing the daily income generating activities, you're not growing your business, because you have 2 of the greatest products. I mean, we have many products, but Acai Plus, hands down, nothing can touch it. It's one of the greatest products out there on the planet. And PFPB is the only 10-in-1 product out there. If you're not confident in what you're doing, how can you expect someone else to be confident in what you're sharing? Be the product of the product. Create your story. Run to your story. Build the model, prove the model, duplicate the model, period. And you can become the model or use somebody else's model. Back over to you, Frank.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. If you understand what Brian just said, was he put a couple people in. He didn't put them just in his business. He put them in our business. Okay. This is the way it works. Everybody is putting somebody in now is also
Correct.
putting them in other businesses. Just think what's going to happen when it gets to 10,000, 20, 100,000, and people are putting them in. Do you see how fast it's going to fill? That's it. You
Yeah.
found it.
I found it.
Yeah. There it's showing you somebody who has their 10 already filled in. And that's how you want to lay them out. You want to lay them out right
Initially,
now.
all
so
smart
that
shop.
when this thing starts going, your pods are going to get filled for you. You were going to say something else, Brian?
I was just answering that question for the person who said, hi, as a premier member, we don't have to do anything else to secure our spot in the One Marketplace. You are time-stamped in One Marketplace, but what good is it to be the only person in it? Friends do what friends do. Bring some people along with you, because that is going to be a way to increase your monthly passive residual income. And you're also going to be able to help others increase their passive monthly residual income. And everybody's going to have different levels of income that they want to generate. Some of your friends are going to want to earn maybe $400 or $500 to maybe pay a car payment, maybe pay an electric bill. You're going to have some of your team members and referrals that are going to want to earn $2,000 to $5,000. That could be a mortgage payment. That could be a couple car payments. Could be a new vacation. Then you're going to have those who are the extra milers who are going to say, you know what? I see real opportunity here. I want to make 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100,000 a month. And they want to be free, complete financial freedom. Don't underestimate who it is you're sharing, because what if 10 years ago, the friend who really engaged me in this wouldn't have reached out to me? I would still be living in a 10 by 10 tent or trying to get out of the tent, obviously. But because they reached out to me when I was in my worst case scenario, I was hungry. Find 3 things in every referral. Are they coachable? Do they have the willingness to work? And the third thing, which is very, very important, they got to be hungry. I was hungry. Now I'm starving, but I'm starving to help other people get free. I'm starving to help find other people who are hungry, who are, like Brig always says, you're looking for those who are looking. You cannot push a wet noodle. Don't chase. Don't try to convince. We're not in the chasing business. We're not in the convincing business. We're in the people business. You build on people's mind, body, soul, and spirit. The business will automatically follow. It may not be today. It may not be tomorrow. It may be next week, maybe a month, maybe 3 months, 6 months. I had the gentleman I reconnected with yesterday, 15-year friend. Finally, he decided to engage. The second person was inactive for 11 months. But if you don't plant the seed, you're never going to be able to cultivate, and you can't harvest what you don't plant. So get out there and plant your seeds, ladies and gentlemen. But those of you that are got inactive folks, engage them right away. Those of you who are looking to add new people so you get more and more into the pods, get on it. You got 18 days left. Take advantage of it. Back over to you guys.
Thanks again, Brian.
Hey,
guys.
Frank, Brigham here. How we doing?
Who is this?
Brigham Hart.
Who is that?
I'm taking notes. I'm learning from you guys. Come on. Hey, let me
It's
tell
all
you.
yours, buddy.
Let me tell you something, Frank. I watched Jeremiah Johnson, Skin 'em, Pilgrim. I know where they got that bear thing from. So, here we go. Start my video. There I am.
There you are, buddy.
Yeah, Skin 'em, Pilgrim. I love that. But hey, Paul, go back to the slide before you showed Frank's, pods filled. Show the daily dozen again and the map. Folks, old is forever new. Let's refresh something. We're already into March of a new year. Where is the time going? But this right here, I can tell you everything Brian's saying, everything Frank's saying. We had, and again, in time, I'll do all this, but timing's not right for me to do it. You just get to hear it. And you all need to take notes. I'm taking notes, listening to these guys, reiterating things that I've got to do. But this daily dozen gives you an opportunity to do 2 things. Plan your work and work your plan. So we're all in the same business. We're all in this model that has been transformed, and it's really looking pretty cool. If you look at this, hey, don't go anywhere. Stay right there for a second, Paul. When I say there's nothing new under the sun, look, you're in business for yourself, not by yourself. What Frank is saying, which I'm going to reiterate, Mark had a vision for, collective marketing or connective marketing. And you know what? I think he's got it. We're finally there. This connective marketing is not just rebranding what we're doing. It is new and it's fresh. So this is a team effort. Yes, every individual effort goes in. I mean, I've always been the guy that go way back during the Vikings when they rode those big old ships. Everyone in that galley had to grab an oar and pull, or else it just didn't, you didn't get the momentum, you didn't get the force you needed. Everyone here needs to contribute, and everyone contributes what they can, where they can, with what they want to do. No, you don't have a boss in this thing. We're not telling you what to do, and we're never going to beg you. By the way, I don't do that. Brian shared just a minute ago. He was a guy that was just looking. Frank was a guy that was looking. The stories they share, and I could share hundreds of them, of people I meet every day, and I do something a little different than everyone else because I got a bunch of people I interact with because I'm just an active person. I am in the marketplace. I am always doing something. I can tell you 3 things I did yesterday, and I met about 10 people. Well, guess what? Look at your daily dozen. You know, it says interact with 10 people a day. You know what's interesting? I've been doing this so long, I don't care if I'm building a particular business or not. This is how I live my life. I'm gonna interact with 10 people a day every day. Are you? And that doesn't mean I'm going out with a spear and a bag and I'm going to bag them. No, I'm just living my life. And that's why when I say these things, don't take them for granted. Write it down and ponder what I'm saying. I don't sit on the couch staring at my computer. Now look at the Daily Dozen, number 5, list of things to do. I make a list of things to do every day, and I put boxes on them every day. And I try and do the big things first. It's interesting mentally in my attitude. If I do the big things first instead of putting them off, man, I'm so encouraged to do the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. And it's normally the things you don't want to do. Get those done first. It takes discipline, disciplining your life and yourself to do it. But what drives me is now, don't go there, Paul, but what drives me is the 10-step pattern. What's your dream? My dream drives me every day to do the Daily Dozen. Why? Because that's my plan. So I'm planning my work by making my list of things to do. And everything I tell you in my routine of life, these 12 things are going to happen every day of my life. And because of that, my business progresses. But more importantly, I progress. I am growing as an individual, and you will too. So if you're stuck, you know, that book, Let Go of Whatever's Got You Stuck by John Mason, great book. You have to get yourself out of the funk. First of all, you got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired to get out of the funk, to break you out of your routine that's not producing. Folks, I still remember 40 years ago when I was so sick and tired of my life and what I was producing and what I didn't have and what other people were enjoying, that I said, I'm fed up with it. I'm not going to fall into this funk anymore. So I started changing my lifestyle, of course. And the biggest thing was getting away from people that were dragging me backwards. You know, getting away from them. I don't care if they're your friends. They're still my friends. I just don't hang out with them because they have nothing to contribute. And I still to this day am I stay in touch with a lot of people I'm not in business with. And in time, I've learned that they do get in business with me because they see me change. I'm still in touch with people that I grew up with, folks. And I'm telling you that's 70, 65, 70, because I'm 72. I'm still in touch with people that I went to elementary school. I still am in touch with them, even though I live 1,300 miles away from where I did that. They're some of my best buddies that I grew up with and formulated my character and my life at that time. And now I don't hang out with them much. Why? Well, they didn't get in business with me. They quote, don't like my industry. Of course, that means they don't understand it. And that's fine. They're still my friends. But you know what's been interesting? Just what Frank and Brian are talking about. I have never had to go looking to build remember, now I'm back, I'm looking at this list. You're supposed to add to your list daily. If you interact with people, you'll be adding to your list of people daily. Why? Because I'm always talking to anybody I'm kind of interacting with, and most time I'm buying something or selling something or interested in something. It's like I'm going to look at the new Tesla trucks. I like the 2026 series. Just like this business has evolved, I didn't like that first Tesla. I thought, man, that thing's ugly. But you ought to see the 2026, the curves they put in and all that. Our business did not look pretty in the beginning, although it got my attention because it was unique. I like unique things. But now it's pretty. As a matter of fact, I haven't used this term since the day I kind of got in. One of my checklists for why I'm doing this, I'm going to be interviewed. Frank was interviewed the other day. Tom's about to be interviewed. We're doing a podcast for 5 weeks. And one of the things I'm going to talk about is what attracts me to a certain business model. And I'll just give you one of my terms, and maybe this will help refire you guys up. I'm looking for something that's sexy. Just like Lita, when she dresses up, she puts those clothes on, those right clothes, fixes her hair, does her little makeup and all. Man, she's a sexy beast. That's why we're still married. We keep the romance going. We love each other. But sometimes you got to put, every old barn needs a little paint job every now and then, a little fresh coat of paint. And we keep ourselves, looking good, sounding good, right attitude, and we keep the romance going. Well, I do the same thing in business. This business has progressed, and man, it's gotten cleaned up, it's gotten tuned up, it's gotten reshaped, and now I'm telling you, it's looking sexy right now. Why? It's unique. It's very unique. You've never seen a presentation like we have right now, and Mark's done a great job. Frank, kudos to Frank. Frank's helped him, Paul certainly, the team, Brian. You guys are more involved with influencing, but I want to tell you where I'm at. I'm influencing from the top. I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. I am going to build this business like crazy as it is progressing. I'm liking it. It's sexy. So it's drawing me in. And now I want to romance with it. Now I want to, since it's sexy, I'm not afraid to share it. If you're not proud of your wife or your husband, you don't take them out in the marketplace and show them off. I'm going to show this off because it's getting sexy. Who do I share with? Watch this. It's not just the people I contact, the endless contacts. You meet one good person, I'm always talking to them about who they know. Even I'm always using the third person because it makes them tell me, as Frank says, they'll contact you. Here's how I do it. I use the third person. Hey, Frank, let me ask you something. I've stumbled into some ideas that really look like they have some potential to make some money, save some money, get some tax advantages, all that. Who do you know that's in a position to take advantage of such a thing? Who's the most ambitious person you know? Now, folks, if you do nothing from this call except write down what I just said, write it down and repeat it. That's using a third-party approach. And here's the response you're going to get. If the person is a qualified prospect that you just asked that to, guess what they're going to say? Hey, how about me? Wait a minute, yeah, my brother-in-law, and I'm still staying with it. I'm going, what's his name? Where's he live? What's he do? Why do you think he's the most ambitious person? And you go, well, wait a minute. I'm ambitious too. I'm going to make them contact me, tell me they're interested. See, a lot of you ain't doing it. You're taking a direct approach, and sometimes it's a 2 and 3 step process to get where you want. You want this goal of putting in, a person a week or a day or a month or an hour. You set the goal. But my approach is a third party approach. Who do you know? So, see, I'm getting 2 for 1, sometimes 3. My brother-in-law, I've got 3 kids, and my oldest one, he is the most ambitious. He's an entrepreneur. I says, where's he live? What's he do? What's it? And I go through the whole thing, and I'm writing all this down. But guess what? In the process, I'm telling you, just not 100%, but it works just about this way all the time. They will say, well, how about me? I says, well, I didn't want to approach you. I know you're successful, you're busy, or you like what you're doing. You've never told me that you were really looking for anything more, but I know you're connected with some pretty good people. You're a sharp individual. You compliment them. Now, folks, listen to me. This is how you build this kind of a business. We're in the people business. You have to get good at Dale Carnegie. You have to get good at how to win friends and influence people. You've decided you want to do this. There's no way around it. I don't care whether you draw circles, squares, or a pyramid. However you put people in, you got to get people to want to listen to you. And how do you do that? You have to offer them something. If you're just looking for something from them, it ain't going to work. You offer them something. That's why when I'm doing my third party, I normally compliment the people. Wow, you dressed pretty sharp today. What are you after? What are you looking to accomplish today? I'll ask that to a new person just to get a conversation going. And I said, that's interesting. And I find common ground. And soon there comes a moment in the conversation, FORM, where I will ask them, I said, let me ask you something. I says, I hadn't told you a whole lot of what I'm doing, but I'm expanding a business in the area. I'm looking for some ambitious people, some young ambitious people that can think out of the box a little bit, say something that gets their curiosity going. And then say, really would be rewarding for them and whoever they're willing to share with. Would you be willing to share his name and number? And they can share it with you or whatever. And see, I'm still looking to the third person, and they're going, what about me? See, now when I got them asking me, I go, oh, so you really you're looking. So let me ask you something. If I could share something that's legal, honest, moral, and ethical, we can make a lot of money and help a bunch of people. Would you be interested? Great. Get your phone out. I want to show you something. Now, see, I've prepared the soil. But I want to tell you what, I've also heard them tell me about 1 or 2 people there in Beth. Says, man, those are the first couple of people we want to talk to. As a matter of fact, why don't we call them right now? See, some of you are taking way too long to do something. You get involved. You help them to take the first step, and all of a sudden you've got them involved. Doesn't matter if they've signed up or not. You've got them involved in the process. You've got their curiosity going. And Brian, genius. Use my story, use Frank's story, use Brian's story. Brian's got a story now that all of you can use. But definitely use my story and my book, because that's what most people have done. This business, this particular business, I'm telling you, the majority of volume and people that came in, did anything, were running on my story. Why? Because I'm the guy that put a lot of people in fast, made some money fast, went diamond fast. And so you've got a story. I'm not bragging about that. Somebody has to do it. And I'm willing to be first to go. Now I'm just looking for somebody that's as hungry as I am. So this daily dozen is your roadmap to success. Yes, the 10-step pattern. Yes, that's the how-to. This is what you do. This is your plan. You do these things daily. What Brian said, income producing act. There isn't one of these that's not an income producing activity. You say, how does giving thanks? Because God says, give and it shall be given. If you give thanks to God, he'll give it back to you. He'll give you in the form of contacts, new visions, witty ideas, give thanks. That's in, and it produces family time. Tell me, if you're not investing in your family, holy smokes, folks. Do you understand the model of family? You're to bless your kids and be a part of them and all that. I'm enjoying more of that right now. Watching Paul, mature and prosper and take this thing over. That's been my dream, that my kids would be able to take over what I've learned. So keeping it simple. I love the industry. I love this business, this particular business model. It's sexy again. It's got its sexy on. Be proud of it, folks. It's your business. This is your business. Take ownership. Learn to do these things every day. I promise you, you will feel so good about yourself. Your attitude will get better. People will see a change in you. You will become a people magnet. Because all of a sudden you're going around, instead of a scowl on your face, you're smiling. They're going, what are you smiling about? Hey, glad you asked. I'm expanding something in the area and I'm looking for some ambitious people. I know you know some. Give me the name of the top 2 names, 3 names of the people that you feel like are the most ambitious people you know. I'm going to go help make some money. Oh, how about me? I said, now you're not. Come on. I've known you. You ain't doing nothing. But you know a bunch of people. See, I'm not putting them down. I'm holding back. It's my cookie. I'm going to share it with whoever I want to share it with. When they demand, hey, Brig, I really am. I'm interested. And by the way, I've got people that are in phase, step 1, step 2, and step 3 is about the time I close. But I got a bunch of people in step 1 and step 2 that they've thought about it. They've even got product. Some of them have information. Some of them even have the code and haven't signed up yet because I didn't do it myself. Listen, am I in a hurry? No, because if you get in a hurry, you're too hungry. People sense that and they feel like, well, shoot, if he's that, hungry, this thing can't be as good as what he says it is. So don't overdo it. Don't be overzealous. Yeah, be excited, sedated a little bit. People don't react real good with people just go, hey, this thing's the greatest thing on the planet. Come on, calm down a little bit. You're overselling. Just relax, just smile, look in their eyes, let them know, that you've run across something. Don't be the expert. Remember, you're the messenger, not the message. And you can share with them, man, we've got a plan that you can work. We've got a systematic way that you can do what I'm doing. Doesn't matter. You don't have to have experience in this. We're all in the people business. We're just good at identifying people, getting good at identifying people, finding out if they're looking for something more than what they have. That's bottom line. And then you just sort and sift and figure out which ones are what Brian said, hungry now. See, my list of, Brian gave you his 3. Mine are, you got to be ambitious, trustworthy, hungry, willing to work, and willing to listen. If you're not those 5 things, I ain't putting you in business because you'll become a project, and I don't sponsor projects. I sponsor, but what do you think? What do you think? I'm begging Bob Champion to do this, or begging Frank to do this, or begging Brian? Give me a break. Am I begging any of you to get on this call and stay on it? Nope, not me. Because if you got to beg them to do it and you got to do it for them, you'll continue to do it. Don't do it for them, do it with them. So, hey, there's my 2 cents. I've been around a while. I've been missing you, Frank. Good job, Bob. Thanks. Brian, thanks for making things happen, especially Paul. Kudos to you guys. Hey, our sexy's back. Let's get it on.
Hey, Brig,
Yeah.
you're the professor, and now you look like one with that beard, buddy.
Hey, well, that's my winter coat. I do this, and don't worry. Next week, it may be a Fu Manchu. Next, it might be a big brushy handlebar. But you notice I got some hair now. I'm going to do it again. I'm gonna let it rock and roll. You know, as long as I got it and it's kind of strawberry blonde, I'm going to keep it going.
Hey, everybody needs your inspiration and guidance, buddy.
Hey,
Amen.
well, hey, I love each and every one of you. Don't think, listen, I know it's been an arduous trip. I will restate once again, I've been involved in 7 to 8 networks. None of them were out of the blocks and just big. It didn't happen that way. They all went through what we've been through. Now we've got this thing ready to rock and roll. So folks, go take a fresh shower, get out there and run a few miles, walk a few miles, get in there, take a fresh shower, get cleaned up, go out there, and let's go make this thing happen. Let's go make it happen. It's time. So Paul and Frank and all these guys are working on finishing up the details of how this is going to look and all that. But now's a good time to start putting them in because it really is simple. It's a team effort. Everybody brings something to the table. And now we have that collective, connective marketing that Mark had visioned for. And you're all going to see that because you're right. What happens, and by the way, I am a realist. I'm not, you know, it's great to talk about the thousands. Give me a break. Here's what I'm going to tell you. 9 of the rings, if not 10 of them, are full now. So you've got your time spot. We need to reactivate another 1,000 people that don't know that this is even available now. And I mean, all they have to do is reactivate and then their timestamp. Now those rings start building. They actually will see collective, connective marketing. They will see people being added. Just as an affiliate, what do you get? Now, someone tell me this. What is it, 65 cents? If you're an affiliate,
65.
every person in your pod, you get another 65 cents for every month?
Yes, 65.
And what happens when you're a premier member? What is that number?
It's still 65, but when he comes out with the pro program, it can go up to $2 for
Yeah.
each one.
Okay, that's what I was looking for. And that starts when? In June?
Yeah, I mean, that's when absolutely when it starts.
No, I mean, that's when it'll be finished and ready to go.
They're
Yeah,
projecting
yeah.
around June.
Yeah, he hasn't explained the pro yet, but that's what it's
Yeah.
going to be. When you see that $2, that's where it comes from.
So people think about this. You know, me and Brian, Frank, Bob, all of us that are talking, Alan, we're going to start adding people to the pod. You're going to see the benefit of it now. You know, as an affiliate, every time I put somebody in, they end up your pod. That's 65 cents, whether you did it or not.
However,
And most of us on the call, all of us on the call, I think are premier members. So think about $2 for for every person that's entering in, because Frank is right. There will come a time when the 1,000 we are now, 10 rings that are full, go to 2,000, which is just that's the 11th ring, by the way. So that's 2,000 people or another 1,000 people added. That your pod, you're going to get paid $2 for every person that ends up in your pod. And then as those rings expand with the energy and efforts of all the people involved, US, Canada, worldwide, now we have exactly what Mark was looking for. And have I ever seen that before? No. That's why I believe we can make this happen. See, in my mind, I can't break it apart. I can't see why it won't work. That's why I'm willing to work it, because I do see ahead. But I don't get ahead of myself. I'm going to fill my pot up. Are you going to fill yours up? Because if you do your part, I do my part, and everyone else does their part, man, this thing will grow and we will have a lot of fun. Let's not get away from that and make some money. Because if you're not having fun doing it, you ain't going to get on these calls. You don't like listening to us. Have some fun with this. What else are you going to do? What else are you going to do? Do it with us. Here's what's exciting. We're in business together. We will help you. And that's what we're doing on these calls. So, hey, thanks for letting me share. Appreciate it all. God bless you. And remember, Merry Christmas.
hey,
Ever since Trump went in the golden age, Merry Christmas every day. Wake up. He's fixing things, and I'm in that realm. I'm getting my America back. I'm getting my faith back. I'm getting, leadership back. I have confidence in my country and the world, even though war's going on. That's always going to happen. But you know what? This is our little bubble, and I'm going to enjoy it. So thanks for being a part.
Amen.
Love you. If you need anything, call Paul, Frank, Bob, Charlie, Al, Pam, Aaron. Hey, Aaron, it's good to hear your voice. Been praying for you. Jeff Boyer, Brian, Sandra, Kahana, Brian, John, Tom Anderton, my buddy. Hey, Norm, looking good, like the haircut. All of them.
Hey, Brig, $2 plus the shopping.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't wait. I've never gotten crypto and all that kind of stuff, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna start my own Fort Knox.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
Bless you guys. Have a good day.
All right. Hey, we can end that call on Paul, on Brig, believe me.